We're going to let Rory settle down for a little bit here. Rory is cursing.
No, I was ready to go, and then it just...
He was singing Christmas carols earlier, which was a painful experience for everyone but him.
Oh, my God, I know.
It might have even been for him. He might have just wanted other people to suffer more and be willing to go through it himself.
You know, the thing is we don't actually do that Christmas in July sale, but all, like, the radio advertisers do. It's a big hit.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing now?
It has been sometimes, like Christmas sale or Boxing Day. Maybe it's Boxing Day sale. Boxing Day sale in July. It's like, guys, why?
I don't know.
Rory,
But we're not here to talk.
Mr. Roy Slack, is that a shirt and a shirt, or is that a shirt with a?
Great question.
Yeah.
It's just, being the fashion icon I am, I'm always open to questions about what I'm wearing.
Did you buy it?
You've got fashion
This is, in fact, a shirt. Just a shirt.
Oh. So it's not a T-shirt with a long sleeves, but a
No, do you
shirt.
want me to...
No, Roy. Don't do that again. We couldn't launch the last episode that you did that.
This is a family show, Roy.
Yeah. Well, between the arsonist and the exhibitionist, we've got some of the bases covered.
I feel, Roy, if you were going to go down the criminal lifestyle, I feel like arson, arsenic and arson. Those would be your two. Those would be your two go-tos.
Well, because I love an alliteration.
Yeah.
And a little what?
We got to get him a thesaurus or a dictionary or something.
A what?
What kind of a dinosaur is that?
I don't want to go to Drumheller.
Oh man, I've been to I've been to Drumheller. I went and did the Tough Mudder in Drumheller years ago.
Oh,
ages ago.
I still could. Let's not start this already.
Can we? Is Zarina on the?
Sorry, I'm going to bring up that picture.
Is she on the call anymore?
Oh, I am on the call.
Oh, she is, because we need to talk about she went to talk to Jerrod about like anti-aging. She specifically.
It was insane.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh yeah,
and like
exactly
what?
right.
She she walked. Yes.
She walked across.
Goes, hey Jerrod, did you know that they come up with like this anti-aging in rats or pigs or something?
And I'm just sitting at my desk working on the other end of where she was in the office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good.
It's great.
Thank you.
I thought he would find it interesting. Out of all people.
Our producers insult me a lot. Because you got Devin going, when I had the eye thing going on, I was like, hey, are there any issue? Like, is it noticeable on camera? He's like, you mean like the bags under your eyes? I'm like, no.
That was funny.
Zarina's sending me age reduction recommendations.
I think you need to...
I get it, guys. I look a little binged down.
Listen to the signs.
Listen to the science, apparently. Welcome to the Crownsmen Show, everybody. We're off to a great start. It's amazing that people watch for as long as they do. Do you think they're just watching going like, where is this going?
I think some of the audience, Jerrod, were thinking that you were my younger brother.
That's I can't respond, because if I respond, it's way ruder than what you just did, even though what you did is really rude. But even saying it's rude is rude. So I'm in a rock and a hard place right now.
That was pretty rude.
Shout out to Mr. Roy Slack. He got over 100,000 views with a mustache.
I told you.
Over 110,000
Why am I yelling?
I don't know.
With a mustache.
Yep.
Sorry, Jerrod, I had to one up your 100,000.
Sorry, how much was it?
Imagine how many views it would have been if I'd shaved.
I think it would have been less.
Yeah.
I think it would have been less. There's
I think
something.
the engagement was stellar.
There's something about
technologies.
There's something about a guy with a mustache on camera. I got to see what this guy's doing. Why is he being filmed right now?
Watch it move as he talks. But I'll tell you, that show was very interesting, and we talked about that. I don't know if we talked about it on this show or not, but those two guys, they were just out to have fun. And they weren't worried about what their marketing group would say or anything. You could tell they were just going to make the most of that show, and they were great guests. They definitely weren't nervous at all.
That was
They
Fleet
obviously
Space,
knew their
right?
stuff, but
Fleet-based
they were fun.
technologies. Yeah, Fleet-based technologies. Yeah, they were just having a blast.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I do feel sorry for. I mean, I understand why some of these companies need to have PR people and stuff. I get it, but you definitely feel bad for the people that aren't allowed to do it because it makes such a difference. I was actually curious to see how long the average person watched that show for.
Just long enough to see the mustache.
Just long enough. Yeah,
I think a whole bunch of people watched I think the engagement. Let's pull it up.
A lot of people were people watched a long time. 9 minutes, 26%.
And then the highlights got thousands of views, and yeah, it was really solid.
That was that a CIM event or was that
PDAC
Line
for
Expo?
that one. PDAC for that one.
That was PDAC. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. PDAC. Yep.
Let's talk about our heavy industry world tour brought to you by Savanaugh Equipment. Find, market, and sell surplus and used equipment. And Corporate Traveler Canada, helping companies travel the globe simpler, faster, easier. We are heading to events across North America and Australia and filming episodes on location. Email us at info@crownsmen.com to be part of Crownsmen's Heavy Industry World Tour.
Black Powder Solutions provides a sustainable solution to clean contamination, black powder, from natural gas and hydrocarbon fluids over traditional one-time fuse filters. BPS separators utilize magnetic radial fields to clean, resulting in an operating life of over 22 years and minimal consumables. With higher efficiency and loading capacity than traditional filters, BPS separators protect pumps, metering stations, compressors, valves, and equipment across the hydrocarbon value chain, eliminating the need for conventional filtration and greatly extending service intervals, reducing costly downtime. Black Powder Solutions, Inc., redefining how you operate upstream, midstream, and downstream, one magnetic separator at a time. Visit blackpowdersolutions.com to learn more.
Attention builders, we've got everything you need to know about the grit and grind of the construction world in one show. The Construction Show is where you can share your expert techniques and strategies to help keep the crew strong and construction sites secure. From foundational tips, industry trends, safety strategies to advanced equipment and machinery. Be part of the voice of construction. Book your episode and showcase your company to millions worldwide. Visit crownsmen.com.
Yeah, the views are definitely climbing. I think we're up to like 600,000 views a month now, right, Rory? Since January,
a month. Yeah, over 600,000 a month now. So it's starting to, and we're probably going to see like that jump even more, like in the fall season when we start, like we have like back to back events. So
we're almost getting big enough that people can start hating us.
oh yes,
Right.
Yeah, I think we got there a while ago, Jerrod.
I don't know. I've had a few
Speaking
complaints
of
about
views
Jerrod.
and brews,
Yeah, let's go, Mr. Cranky Old Man drinking beer himself.
this is Whistler. It's an ale, and it's a chestnut ale. It's actually a fall kind of brew. They even say that on their website. And I haven't tried it before. Rory sent this over. Thank you very much, Rory. And I've had mixed success with these kind of flavored brews. I expect it to do nutty.
Christmas in June.
This is very Christmas themed.
That's your cue, Rory, for your singing.
chestnuts roasting on an open
No,
bar.
don't do that.
And click.
Thank you, Gowdy. I knew somebody believed in me.
No, I just wanted the world to hear you.
A nice dark chestnut pour.
And it's 5%, which should be nicer.
Good Canadian beer. Notice. Oh man, it's hard to not give the review when you first taste it. You just want to start talking about it.
But that's what you have to do.
Oh,
Okay.
Moving on.
now I'm ready to talk about heavy industry.
Yeah, Rory, I feel like you haven't gone first for a while. We've been stealing your spotlight a little bit. So do you want to kick things off? This is, by the way, for anybody who's still with us, this is a heavy industry show. We've given a few tangents. Rory's got Lenny behind him.
We don't want to do it. That's not weight shaming, eh? Calling it heavy industry. That's not a.
Why has this become the theme now? What?
Now we have to change our mission.
Yeah.
Only
We can't be the voice of heavy industry.
I just like it because now I'm at a point in my life I can make fat jokes and people don't.
that you can relate.
And well, then they don't think I shouldn't make them anymore, which hurts my feelings a little bit. They just go, yeah, no, he can make that joke. I'm
Before
like,
we get
all
in,
right.
maybe we should go the voice of hefty industry.
Hefty industry.
Yeah.
Of thick industry.
Well, you can't call this a transmission either.
Oh God.
So there's just some things we can't do on air.
All right, restarting the show for the 10th time
Censorship.
today.
Censorship.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you facing the challenges of CO2 shortages in your construction projects? Secure your CO2 supply today with Tomco Systems, the pioneers in CO2 equipment solutions. With over 45 years of experience, Tomco transforms challenges into solutions, offering a comprehensive range of CO2 products for water treatment, storage, and transportation. Tomco Systems' patented CO2-based water treatment and wastewater treatment solutions have gained global recognition for their efficient and precise pH control systems. Whether you need pH reduction for municipal process treatment or industrial wastewater, their line of carbonic acid storage and feed products will provide you with 95% or greater efficiency in reaching your target pH. Don't let shortages slow you down. Visit tomcosystems.com to learn more. Join us in the depths of the mining world, where global leaders and industry giants converge to shape the future of mining. From groundbreaking technologies, advanced machinery, revolutionary safety measures, to sustainable initiatives. This is the voice of mining. This is Mining Now. Showcase your company to millions worldwide. Book your episode now. Visit crownsmen.com.
Jerrod, did you want me to jump into Haliburton, or were you talking to Roy?
Oh, I was talking to Mr. Slack, and then we'll go over to
Good.
old Hallie himself.
Mine's way too, and we don't want to
Age
lose the
before
audience.
beauty.
Age before beauty, that's right. Although that mustache, I mean. By the way, I will make a
But
confession.
he doesn't have it anymore.
When I sent that stupid video about why women love, I forgot everybody who CC'd on it.
Yeah.
So I do
Unbelievable.
apologize.
Was Zarina on there too?
Everybody, yeah.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I was
Did you
offended.
Did you watch it?
I was offended.
And this creepy guys, like they just love the feel
I was offended.
of it's just against their skin. I'm like, okay, you gotta. So I knew I had to send it because it was so making me so uncomfortable. And he was serious. He wasn't doing it ironically, which is what made it funny. He was actually like looking in the
real, for
camera and
real.
explaining it.
See, Jerrod, you're not old enough to send stuff like that. You know, if you're old enough, people think you're eccentric.
Right.
But if at your age, you're just perverted when you send stuff like that. That's
Sounds about right.
Well, that's why I'm apologizing to 50,000 people. All right, Roy, what's your topic? What are you focused on with your short, long sleeve shirt?
yeah, it's Fashion Week at the Crownsmen Show.
Double pockets
had,
too. That's commitment.
Yeah, at our last show, we touched on partnerships, but we weren't able to delve into it. So that's what I put on my list for today. And when we started BLM, we started a company in Sudbury that we took public. We started that in '89, and I had two partners.
Talk about being ahead of your time for the name. I mean, everybody
Unbelievable.
thought it, so I'm going to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fashion
Fashion
Week is
Week.
hitting hard.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Who wore
got
it best?
I can tell
just got an
which.
email from RuPaul.
Oh, wow. Well, you can see which one your shirt is based off
Yeah.
of, actually. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a little checkered there.
Everybody
little-
check in for the next episode where they all
I think
try to
it's a
imitate.
combination of the three on the right. I'm not sure about the green gardenia bulb
But I
there,
do
but
think the gold bulb is very nice for our Christmas theme
Yes,
in June.
Christmas theme. Chestnuts, gold ball.
This is unbelievable.
These nice folks, I wonder if they realize it's going to live online forever, these outfits. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
they should have taken the hanger out of the dress. Maybe. Anyway,
Okay, Roy. Partnerships, heavy industry. Let's go.
Yeah.
so in 1989 we started a company, and I had two partners, and they were very different, and I learned a lot from both of them, and I'm trying to be tactful about it because maybe one of the partners didn't have the same business philosophies that I did, but that's okay. You learn from everyone. We took that public, and when I left, there was a valuation done.
You took the company public?
Yeah.
Oh.
We took the company public in '95 because my two partners wanted to get into junior mining. I was running a contracting engineering group, and I didn't want to go that way, so I opted out, and we had to do a valuation. And I always remember, when we started the company, you never look forward that far. So there weren't any rules on what the valuation would be. So we had to bring a third party in. And to be honest, I didn't agree with the valuation because we were the cash flow part of the company, but the exploration was the prospective part, which of course in mining is always the group with the most potential, but the group with the most risk too. Anyway, I opted out. It was all very congenial, and still one of the partners has passed away now, but we had good relationships for years, and it was a great learning experience for me.
Jerrod, you and I were actually talking about that the other day, like how you would evaluate, like what parameters you would set up for evaluation, because you could actually add that in for like future planning. And it is hard to look ahead, but if you're kind of planning on like 20, 30 years in the future, it is actually good to have that all documented out for if something goes wrong or something.
The challenge, Rory, is when it's successful. If things go wrong, it's fairly easy because there's not much to split up or it's not worth much. But when you're successful is when things can become a challenge.
But what you're talking about, Roy, I'm not saying this is what happened in your case, but if you've got an exploration side that's saying, we're going to set the world on fire, they're doing a projection evaluation. You're doing a cash flow evaluation.
Yeah, I'm looking at it in terms of history.
Yep.
And they're looking at it in terms of future potential.
And were you looking at the cash flow side? Like this gets in. Actually, it is a good segue into my topic. But were you looking at the cash flow from? So you said you started in 1989, 1995. They were going to go public. So you had 6 years of data to look at. Basically. So I guess you could look at the cash flow side and go, okay, well, it has been growing, or it hasn't been, or it's going down. But we've got this other side that's kind of like this isn't generating any cash flow. Yeah. So you can kind of like.
Two very different parts of the business. There's one part that you can chart out. Mm-hmm. It's a service business. There's a certain market we work in. There's 5 years of history behind it. Mm-hmm. It can grow, but it's only going to grow so much. Mm-hmm. And then the other part, junior exploration, where a major can come in and buy you out for 4 times your share price. Yeah, I mean that doesn't happen often, but the other side of the business, very prospective, but the cash flow side of the business was funding the exploration side of the business.
Yeah.
So
you almost have to, in that case, like you were probably getting, I'm actually curious if you can get into it. When you were looking at that, if you're taking money from the cash flow part and that's kind of going into a pit, so to speak, because you're trying to like generate, like you're trying to find like exploration or you're doing drilling programs, that's just all cost. Yeah. There's no, until like that potential payoff, which is kind of ironic because Roy, you say like now you'll kind of invest in like one miner a year, right? You've said that on previous shows. So it's kind of interesting that you look at that side of it too.
But you talk about it as cost, Roy, but when you're drilling, it's an investment because what you're doing is you are establishing reserves. If you've got a property and you've identified some reserves, well, there's an asset. So the way it shows up on the balance sheet, it's not just pure cost; it's investment.
Something I don't understand. Again, Roy, if they're going into an area that we shouldn't be going, just let us know. But I wouldn't, though. In this case, it seems like that company should split and have 2 separate evaluations, though, shouldn't it?
Well, not the way it worked because when the focus was on junior mining, it wasn't my area of interest. So I opted out of the company. The contracting company continued to run,
Oh, okay.
Okay, they had other people running it who weren't
You
partners.
had to get a buy. You were like, I'll just take a
but
buyout.
it just wasn't where I wanted to go with my career. So it was an amiable split. But it came time to evaluate what my percentage of the company. I think I had, I was at 25%. I think was my share, my equity position in the company.
Right.
So the other two partners were senior partners.
Right. So then they had to do it.
I came in.
I get it.
I was 29 or 30 years old, and they said run the contracting, and I'd never done that before, but
Right.
I took a chance on it. It was a great opportunity.
Roy, when you started cementation, did you ever take that company public, or no?
No, well, when we started cementation, it was owned by a public company.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the model was different.
It was already. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What I did was I got partners who were a public company. So instead of the bank funding it and me going through all that stuff we went through at BLM, we took a different route. So I didn't have shares in the company. My equity position in the company was a profit sharing model.
Oh,
Not a block of shares.
was cementation already operating and you came in with partners to buy it? Is that correct?
No, cementation was operating in the UK and in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to establish something in North America, so I teamed up with them to do that. Because they were already owned by a public company, Caverner at the time.
I see.
I didn't take an equity position. I took a profit sharing position.
That's
cool.
That's an interesting, even for
So,
our
Roy,
business. That's actually not an interesting approach to expansion.
So, and just to clarify, because I love there's so many different models that people use. So they wanted to build up their North American business. So you take a profit sharing model,
but not equity.
Not equity. You could probably buy in with equity later if you wanted.
Well, I took no risk.
Yeah.
No risk.
Right?
Okay.
So you get a share of the profits, but if the company's ever sold, you don't get a piece of that equity.
You're just getting profits based on how
just getting a share of the profits. The tricky part comes in if you don't make money.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in a negative cash position. Is there a clawback?
Yeah.
If you're mirroring an equity position, then yeah, there would be a clawback.
Did you have those parameters laid out as well, with the clawbacks and that? Did you have something like that set up for, based on your experience with BLM? Did you have it set up? Did you that?
It wasn't exactly a clawback. When we finally established it, there was a portion of the profit share that was held in trust. Okay, and then after a period of time, it was paid out. So during that period, and then we started again from scratch. So during that period, if there was a loss, there would have been a clawback on the trust fund.
Oh, okay.
So over a 2-year period or something. So if there's an up and a down, it kind of the average essentially.
Yeah. So because you can see a situation if a company is losing money and they come back to me and say, you owe 300,000, and I say goodbye.
Right.
So we established a model that would deal with that made sense. Yeah.
What do you, when you're doing these negotiations with people, and so much of stuff is a negotiation. Like you said, you didn't agree with the valuation of BLM. Then you're doing now. Cementation is coming. They're wanting to expand, so you're negotiating that. How do you deal with it when you don't agree? What is sort of your approach to it? And I'm going to add another layer. Do you have that? When you see something, do you have an initial think where okay, I'm going to wait 24 hours before I respond because I don't want to do you have that reactionary, or are you generally pretty measured when you don't agree with something? Especially high stakes stuff.
I think it's human nature. Whenever you see the initial deal, you always think that you should get more, right?
Right.
I think that's just human nature. What we did with BLM is we had a third party come in. I think KPMG came in and did an evaluation. And we were all, I would say friends. We all got along well together. Nobody was trying to screw anyone. It was a good relationship, and I think that makes a huge difference.
But a lot of good relationships get ruined at that last point when that kind of stuff happens, right?
Yeah. And that didn't happen with us. And I took the long view too, as I said, that's fine. I'm going to be dealing with these individuals in the future. We had a third-party evaluation. I questioned some of the evaluation, but I found that like financial institutions will put more weight on the potential. But if you're doing an acquisition, you put more weight on the history.
I was going to say, if the bank is giving you money, they put a lot more weight on the history.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Like it's not something, it was sweat equity. I got a decent payout. Most important, I got great experience, and I built a network in the industry. Mm-hmm. People began to recognize that I could do this. I could do this contracting business, and it led to bigger things. The BLM never would have grown to the size that cementation did.
That's another thing is knowing that pivot of like, when you're in one world and you kind of, because how long was it between BLM and cementation?
4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Yeah. And what did you, in between, were you just doing consulting in that?
No, when I left BLM, I went with another contractor as VP of operations.
Oh, okay.
And that was a good experience too, because it was one of the largest mining contractors out there.
Oh, okay.
And good experience. I did 2 years of consulting on my own business. And that led me to cementation because...
Well, that was the start of Cranky Old Men Drinking Beer business. Got it. Yeah.
Oh, no, I started that when I was 16 or 17.
Yeah, right. And that was legal age back then, everybody. Don't look it up.
I'm always fascinated by like these, because in sort of every negotiation, I mean, I imagine that even like cementation, were there points where it was like everything's going good in the beginning, the end, you get things closed off, but was there ever like a middle ground while you were getting things started where you're like, oh, this might not go? I find that's where the real skill set is. It's when you can get it past there's that little hiccup that can really throw things out.
Maybe not exactly, but another partnership we had was with Aurora Coring. We had a joint venture with them. We did a couple of jobs with them. And then in 2002, we had a chance to buy them. And we evaluated it. Stuart Keeble was my contact in the UK. He was really keen on it. The people at Skanska, which were the owners at the time, it went from Caverna to Skanska, they weren't so keen on it. Mm. And so unbeknownst to me, I heard about this later, Stuart went to them and said, and I don't know if I told this story before, Stuart went to them and said, listen, if we don't buy Aurora Coring, Roy Slack and I are going to buy it.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even know. Anyway, that was what convinced them. They said, yeah, we better buy this or we're going to lose our business in North America.
Oh,
and
what a move.
And it was a textbook acquisition. Best acquisition I've ever seen or ever heard of.
Why was that?
In terms of integration, in terms of it doubled our revenue, expanded our geographic footprint. Yeah. It was a key part of our business growth, and it was a good price, a good payback period. Like all the pieces fit together.
On the acquisition, like obviously you're probably looking at you're factoring growth, but you're also looking at like the multiples of like profits and that and like cash flow. Is that kind of like the main things you're looking at when you're looking at that type of acquisition?
Well,
you obviously paid the right price too. Because
in a contracting company, there's other elements. There's equipment.
Right.
And whether you're looking at at book value or fair market value for equipment, two very different numbers.
Would you do it based on assets versus the earnings then? Is that more what you were looking at, was the book value?
Well, what we would do is we would look at fair market value
Fair market
for the equipment. So if you were going to sell that equipment tomorrow, what would you get for it?
Okay.
Because book value depends on how much you've depreciated it.
Yeah.
It could be next to
yeah,
nothing, and it
right.
could be a good year.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so that equipment could be sitting there at technically zero evaluation, but it's still $250,000 worth of gear.
So if
The
you're
equipment that's fully depreciated is what you make most of your money on.
It's
Right.
like in some of these businesses, like you hear about some of these stories where so there's the, in the States, they've got like the pink sheet market, but there's some monster companies on there, and people have gone in like they're, I shouldn't use the term corporate raiders, but they kind of are. They're going through and looking, and they'll go find land and buildings that are
Yep.
still completely usable for like the next 20 years. They're depreciated to zero.
That's the movie Pretty Woman.
What?
Remember the movie Pretty Woman? Richard Gere, Julia Roberts.
It's been so
Richard
long.
Gere, that's what he did. He was buying property to redevelop it and spin it and sell it.
I thought he was going. I was like, where are we going with this?
Everybody just got quiet.
And there was that scene on the piano, but we won't get into that.
Oh, God.
I like how this whole room just stopped.
Bring it up.
Like, what?
Bring it up.
I don't know if I've ever actually watched. I've seen clips from it. And
It's a great movie.
Just a piano clip.
It's
Well,
a great movie.
well, isn't that's a movie where Julia Roberts walks in and like goes back into the store, right? That wouldn't sell to her or something?
No, that's not that
Yep.
scene. I mean, yes, that's the movie. Sorry. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but that's
She
that
went
movie,
Sarah
right? Yeah.
stuff, and
Yes,
she
yes,
went
yes.
back later and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
in
no,
your
you
face type
didn't.
thing.
I know it.
Jared's dream.
To be a prostitute.
There's a great line there
back to
where
us. Oh my God. The fact that that's what you think I meant.
How did you know that?
I know it.
original.
There's a piano scene.
Yeah, Richard Gere was tickling some ivories there, but
Yo,
Jared's mesmerized.
I've tickled some ivories in my day.
What is wrong with you guys? Is she in a bathrobe?
for now,
Oh, brother. Okay.
that's,
All right. Come.
Okay.
And that's it.
And unseen.
Watch the movie, everybody.
yeah. Back to the G-rated show.
Oh, brother.
Jared totally wanted to see that, to be honest.
I love Julia Roberts, actually.
Right after the show, I know where Jared's going. He's
Oh, brother.
going to download Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
How did we get
Isn't it like
from
30 years old or 40 years old?
acquisition to Pretty Woman? Was he doing acquisitions?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yes,
a-
that-
got it.
Him and Jason
Oh, yeah, he
Alexander,
was.
the guy from Seinfeld. George. He was the brutal lawyer.
Oh, really? Oh, what's
Yeah.
his? Jason Alexander.
Yeah, he played a very serious role in that movie. He was the bad guy.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that again, partnership. It would never stop if we kept going on that. So I guess maybe we should. I'm sure we'll circle back to it. Rory, what's your topic for today? What have you been thinking about?
I was thinking about the 52-year lows of the S&P 500 companies, and
Did you say
so I wanted
52?
to- Did I say 52-year lows?
You said 52-year lows. Did I hear wrong?
Or
No, that's
no. I
definitely what
probably
you
said
said.
year.
There's 52 weeks in a year, Rory.
Yeah. So I was looking at the worst performers in the S&P 500 for this fiscal year.
Okay,
today.
that makes more sense.
yeah.
Like 52
the
years old.
first
That's
thing-
history.
And I wanted
Yeah.
to keep it heavy industry themed
Yeah.
because Rory has been buying. I've done enough in retail for quite some time, and I've got my winner, and I'm going to stick with that. So I can do some selfish research on this show. So you've probably both heard of Haliburton.
I've heard of him.
Haliburton is very, very famous company for a few reasons.
I actually don't know what would be one of the reasons that they're famous, Roy.
Boom. Here comes the boom. No, what?
Now for the rest of the story. Wasn't Haliburton like I'm trying to think of the politics involved, whether it was George Bush. There were There were a couple of U.S. presidents that were tied to Halliburton.
Vice. Yeah, Dick
Nice.
Cheney. That's nobody got my boom reference.
Yeah.
They went in,
you're
blew
right.
up all the oil stuff in Iraq, and then Haliburton got no bid contracts to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Hence the boom, but nobody.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is really interesting. And Rory didn't know this. I should have because I watched that movie. Forgot about the name.
That
Anyway,
was one of the best acting Did you see that, Roy, with Christian Bale
Christian Bale, unbelievable.
as Dick Cheney?
Unbelievable.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one.
Roy,
But
that is
I've seen some of the previews.
It is.
So good.
It's crazy. It's crazy that's him. That's Christian Bale. It's just like watching Dick Cheney. It's just insane.
Even better than his Batman.
I mean, in terms of just showing the skill of acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case study I brought up for all y'all is Halliburton Co. Because, my goodness.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to insert Rory's reaction to your. It was not even about your conversation. You and Roy were having a total different conversation, while Rory over here is like, "Oh my god, oh my god," completely different.
Stop watching Pretty
Everybody
Woman, you
missed it.
weirdo.
Yeah. The
was
most
just
the most
perfect.
watched portion of the
Oh.
movie.
They're 480th. Wow.
400 idiots. Wow. Oh man, Roy.
They're one of the worst performers this year, and they're down basically like almost 50% from their 2022 high point, and not knowing any of these famous stories, crazy.
Well, Rory, sorry, could I stop you for a sec? It sounds to me like maybe there needs to be a few more booms somewhere in the world
Well,
to maybe create a little more opportunity so they can go back up.
Interestingly enough, Jerrod, is like
What happened a week ago? Go on.
Heavy metal, baby.
Yeah.
So their gross profit has actually been increasing. How did I pick them? It's amazing.
It's a good case study, Rory, because
Yeah.
the market reacts to general information and the profit is down. But if you look at the detail, I took a look at the detail.
Oh,
They did a write-off of $356 million in the first quarter. And, when you do a write-off that's, half of your earnings for the quarter, of course, it's going to look bad. But if people don't look at it, it's a one-off and it's some things that had to be dealt with. So, but it certainly impacts the share price. Yeah.
like you probably look at some of these, like I look at annual, I could care less about quarterly, honestly. So I look at annual, which is what you're saying, Roy, and like look, Jeff Millers is their current CEO. Hi, Jeff. So he said in their latest annual report, so 2024, they generated $3.9 billion of cash flow from operating activities and $2.6 billion of free cash flow. So they're doing monster cash flow, and they returned $1.6 billion to shareholders in the form of dividends and stock repurchases, and they also repurchased $100 million of debt.
I just got a text here, Rory. Jeff says hi.
Perfect. We'll meet up later. Apologies for the boom. That's fine. But 9%.
I mean, it's pretty well documented.
It's a 9% return just in their buybacks on their current market.
It's a which return, sorry, Rory?
9%. That 1.6 billion is a 9% return based on their current market cap, which is only 17 billion right now. And before I knew about the boom, I was about to say this is like ripe for an acquisition, but I bet you they can't. I bet you nobody can buy this company.
But they also, Rory, I mean, the other thing they did recently, $250 million buyback of shares, right? So they're looking at their stock price. They're opportunistic. They're taking advantage of when it's low. And when you do that size of buyback, it builds some confidence that they think it's going to go up.
It's great.
Yeah.
As a shareholder, it's fantastic. That's what you want to see, like good management. So they have like with the cash that they've been generating, they're doing exactly what I would want to see a company at this scale do. The nice thing with them too is they're doing projects. They're not actually like they're not as much dependent on that up and down of oil and gas because they're building the projects, which I also do like for this type of company because
for sure
engineering and building the projects.
Yeah.
That is,
and you're always going to have to rebuild something. Sorry. I'll stop. That's the last one.
But it is true.
It is true.
In their industry, there's the type of contracts are often risky because they're often lump sum or large. But when you get a company the size of Haliburton, with so many projects happening, the chance of 10 projects all going south at the same time is that much lower. So that diversification in terms of market and, but a global pandemic or something like that. Yeah. I mean, it hits all companies, but
and they had I looked their debt maturity schedule is definitely large this year. Or in 2024, it was $7.5 billion that they had to pay back. But in 2023, they only had $472 million. So they're, from just initial looking at it, they've got some really good. They're really well capitalized as well.
Well, they're owned by, I was looking up, and no surprises here. It's these aren't exact figures. I think it's 11.95% is owned by Vanguard, and then 6.3 is owned by BlackRock. So I mean, they
own and for most companies now at this scale, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street own just giant swaths of them.
And their business is 41% North America, 26.6 in the Middle East.
Yep.
And then 18.4 in Latin America and other
they
13.
Have headquarters now in Dubai, along with Houston, Texas.
So you've got to recognize the contracting industry is not very attractive in the public market.
Oh.
But there's a certain size you get to, like PCL or Haliburton, where I don't know what the threshold is, but all of a sudden you're past that concern about construction
because they have so many
and bonding and risk and all those different things because you're large enough now, and that's when groups like Vanguard and BlackRock, because they don't invest in small groups.
Yeah, one project is not going to destroy the company, right?
No.
Do you know what the write-off was for, Roy? You said $350 million. Do you know what that was?
Severance costs, impairment of assets that were held for sale. So they had equipment for sale, but had been for sale for a while. They had to decide, sometimes you can continue to depreciate it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just write it off.
Right.
And impairment on real estate facilities.
Oh, okay.
So those are the general comments, but again, if they own property that they've been depreciating and either they're not selling or they're not developing it, or I don't know the reasons, but those were the notes in their statement.
I have a fun note just because I want to end on a positive note. KBR, one of Halliburton's subsidiaries at the time, paid bribes to a high-ranking Nigerian official between 1994 and 2004 under a deal reached with the U.S. Justice Department. Haliburton agreed to pay $382 million to settle bribery cases.
Whoa, that's a big number.
Yep.
That's a big number.
That's almost as much as what they just wrote off. Or more. Actually,
it was probably a portion of the profit on the projects they received.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a big number. If you and I had to pay $380 million, we'd be in trouble. But it's all relative, right?
I wouldn't be in trouble. Take anything you want.
Once it gets so big, it doesn't matter, right?
Jeff Miller too. He was promoted as president August 1st, 2014, and then CEO June 1st, 2017.
Those sizes of companies that operate at that scale, they're almost like a country, though, because if you're looking at something over here, they do something wonderful. Then if you look over here, you're like, oh, because you can't have, I think they've got almost 50,000 employees. They're like a small country. So they're going to have I
got another note here from Jeff.
Okay.
Please tell Rory to stop referring to me in this.
Sorry, Jeff.
Tag him on LinkedIn. Okay. What was I going to talk about today? I don't remember.
Actually, it's cool because Roy, you would understand like a Halliburton much more. Even like just on the contracting side, you would have a much higher understanding than like the average person looking into them, just because they do so much contracting.
Yeah, like when you see something like you see the statements for the last 3 years, and you see profit, and then you see half the profit, but with the same revenue. And you begin to look at the detail and you say, well, there was a big write-off done, which took almost half the profit away. So, pre-impairment, they performed the same, they had the same gross margins and so on. So you always look at one-offs.
So,
is it something is it going to happen again and again, or is it just something they finally decided, let's take care of it? It's been something for the last 4 years, so we just took care of it this,
Get the tax break
this
too.
quarter.
Pay a little less tax.
So a company
didn't
like
change your dividends.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask about the dividends. Because Rory, you said that that contracting businesses typically don't really attract the investors in the same way other companies do. So, is that why a company like a Haliburton needs to pay? Like they'll pay a higher dividend because they need to attract. They've got the operations and they've got cash flow. And they got all the things that they need, but they just don't attract the same type of investors as like an Apple would, let's say.
You get to a certain size because construction is typically very capital intensive, and investors don't like that.
Nope.
It means you're buying equipment. You're putting cash into the company, and a lot of investors just want their shares, their equity to increase and to get dividends, and they don't want cash calls. So you need to get to a certain size where that's not an issue anymore. You're self-sufficient. Think of it that way. And so you get, groups like PCL and Halliburton that are in the billions in revenue, and they can capitalize themselves and still provide returns for investors. So
They also paying out more.
my theory.
In these types of companies too, the other thing that investors they need to be kind of like, in a way, they need that big return, like that 9%. So if I was looking at that,
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
they need that big return because like if I'm like an Altria, like as an example, like still selling cigarettes, you need a big return because the growth level is not going to be as high as like a tech company as well. But that means if I can buy a company with a 9% or more initial rate of return, I'm going to be happy just to sit on it because in a way it can be just like a bond. Like with what Roy's saying, if you're so big in that contracting world that you're kind of just going to, people are going to be looking at you for the monster projects all over the world still. It gives you that moat in a sense. And like they're operating, I was looking at it, I think it's like 17%. So it's not crazy margins, but it gives you enough when you're talking 20 plus billion, it's still giving you huge amounts to return to shareholders. So you're in a way, you're incentivizing the shareholders to still come.
But it's a dividend. It's a dividend style of investment because you're not going to see the value of the company double.
Right.
I mean, they've got a steady long-term company. You look to buy when the share price is depressed.
Yep.
Maybe you will make something on the share price, but it's really, the dividend model that makes sense for return.
So it's a little bit like it's almost like a bond style investment with a little more risk, so a little more return.
Yeah,
I would look at it like that. So like if I'm buying treasuries, I'm getting 4.2%, but if I buy Haliburton, I'm getting 9%. So, well, okay, actually I don't even care if the stock even like drops a little bit more for like who knows what. Boom, boom. It doesn't matter.
No, that should drive it up, actually. It's the reverse. But.
Yeah, true.
You're back to Jerrod's boom boom.
Oh, boy.
I thought that was just like the easiest little silly joke. I thought everybody just know what I was talking about, but
Not me, because I would go and pick. But yeah, that's
Over our heads like an airstrike.
oh, that was good, Roy. All right,
Boy.
there we go.
thank you.
Oh
Jerrod,
man.
what were you talking about today? Drones.
Drones.
Yeah, that is funny. Well, I was sending. What happened is I was actually sending. The reason I put all these drone episodes, like, because there's this.
Don't send drone strike.
Yeah.
Droning on.
Well, yeah, I do that too. We have I won't say his name because it's sort of an operation. He's looking at a country that needs a lot more like drone, like LiDAR monitoring and that sort of thing. So anyway, he asked me who I knew in that. So I looked through and we've had like Radai, GeoSlam, Wingtra on the show, Propeller. It's Scotty, you and me. And it was just a side note actually to my topic, because you realize doing all these episodes, someone reaches out and you realize like 4 leaders in the industry, just bang like that, just from doing all this content. I think now we've done like over, or you were figuring out, I think it's like over 500 episodes or something now.
My estimate was like over 500, so we're catching up to you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're coming for you.
You're only 2,500.
It's crazy. It is crazy how big it is.
I estimated like kind of over 500, but that's crazy, Jerrod. That like just in the drone space,
Just in that little space, yeah.
it's like, oh, look at all, and some of those companies, of course, are doing work projects across Africa.
Well, and they're like supplying different areas of the world, and they're different districts. Like there's so much intertwined, and it just opens up the door. Like I would never have access to those companies in the way that I do, just because of the nature of our business. So anyway, it's kind of a cool thing. So if you want to get connected, make content. It actually helps. What I was going to ask about, or my thoughts, because I struggle with this kind of all the time, as we're like, Rory, you and I are like making new products or figuring out how to deliver, what pricing model to use, and all this sort of stuff. Is this fine line between giving marketing that makes people want to buy something and then giving over information? And I'll tell you what a frustrating thing is, when the marketing, you kind of use people's ignorance against them in their marketing. The example is Toyota goes and says, hey, we've got this new Land Cruiser. I'm just attacking everybody today. I need to stop doing that on the show.
I think it's just because you feel attacked.
I feel attacked, yeah. Hurt people.
Be better, Jerrod. Be better.
I am the victim here. So,
Roy, don't send us that shirt though. We don't want it.
I'll wear it in 50 years. So
He's not that old.
But will you wear it well? As
Who wore
Rod
it
Stewart
best?
would say.
not with my diet. Okay, so Land Cruiser rolls out their Land Cruiser. I hear that it's coming to North America. I'm all excited. Gowdy, you like off-road vehicles. Everybody's thrilled.
And then
It's basically a Honda Civic with
Disappointment.
four-wheel drive.
What is the Land Cruiser?
The Land Cruiser. It's a 4-cylinder Land Cruiser.
Come on, no, they didn't.
It's a 4-cylinder hybrid. It's heavy. It's a heavy vehicle with a 4-banger, and
That
it's
is
got
a
Land
joke.
Cruiser on the back.
That is such a joke.
It's not a Land Cruiser. It's just not a Land Cruiser.
Well, Jerrod, I did a blog. It's on the website, and I had seen a commercial.
Check it out, everybody.
I had seen a commercial for a pickup truck. It was driving up the side of a mountain, like a really steep mountain. It actually beat a helicopter to the top of the mountain. I had that pickup truck, and it got stuck in the driveway one time in a snowstorm.
Nice.
And I'm looking at this commercial where it's going up Whistler.
Yeah.
Plug for Whistler beer. It's going up the mountain, and it irritated me, right?
Right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
well,
But
being in
but I
production.
talked to my buddy Scott, who's in marketing, and he said it's not actually doing that, but it's the experience.
Uh-huh.
And I'm I'm thinking to myself, well, makes you feel like you can climb a mountain with this truck or what? Anyway, I'm fascinated by marketing.
Oh, yeah. Gowdy, what were you going to say?
Well, no, being in production, you look at how these commercials are made, and I mean, not even close. Like,
They
not
just
even close.
tilt the hill.
It was when was it? I think it was for Jeep. When I think it was Jeep Cherokee. I think there was a video, and I'm sure I'll find it. But they had set up, I think, downtown, like a whole off-road area.
Yeah.
For the Jeep to go through, and like you look at the video and you're like, whoa, yeah, like going, like crossing a river and this whole thing, and it's like, no, that was completely controlled and like set up that way,
right?
So that don't do that.
See, but this is okay. So that's the frustrated side of me. Then there's the other side of me that goes, but I also get it because they need to market the product to make it look like you want it.
Of course.
And then in like the Lexus is actually the Land Cruiser. It's the real Land Cruiser. It's got a V6 in it. It's got lots of power. It's like off-road capable. It's like the real thing.
Yeah.
But people don't want to pay that V6 with all the luck because people expect all this luxury in a vehicle now. So you have to trade the luxury for the power if you want to keep it, let's say, under 80 grand. Now, if you want to pay 120 grand, though, people don't want to pay 120 grand for a Toyota. So
here it is. Oh, this is going to be so stupid.
So while that's running, I want to read you exactly what Scott told me about marketing, which I find interesting. This is on the website. He goes, remember in marketing, we tell the truth provocatively. Okay? When you drive that beautiful new truck, you can feel yourself scaling that mountain and beating that helicopter.
Right.
That's a marketing guy's explanation of that advertisement. But
yeah, it's
Jerrod. Do you know what's interesting? I feel like with the podcast world now, I feel like and even YouTube, I do like that it's kind of gotten away from that. Like if you,
I think so.
Reviews, I like having an honest, like I like knowing like an honest opinion. Like my Honda Passport. I like knowing that, okay, if I add this and this, I can do a little bit more. I can do a little off-road, but it's not like what an old school Land Cruiser would do or like a G-Wagon, like going up anything.
But you want to know.
I want to know, though. I want the real, because like what he said, Roy, is exactly right. Like they want you to feel that because I know 99% of the people.
This is where the struggle comes, Roy, because even when we pitch episodes to people, if we go, and Gowdy, I don't know if you can bring that up, that sheet of all the things that go into the production. If you're a production nerd, that sheet is hugely valuable. You go, oh, wow, they're doing all this stuff. If I go tell that to the CEO of Caterpillar, this is going to be like, this is too, like, I want to know the views. I want to know how many people are going to click, and I want to know how our brand is going to be presented. They might not even want to know the views and the clicks. Like so how do you find that balance between not leaving out important information, but Roy, I think there is a key, and I actually put a note here.
You're talking about production steps?
Yeah, production steps. I just kind of wanted to show it just so people can see all that goes into it. Is you do need to kind of know what you are going to do and then match it to their vision, or else you're just going to be on the weeds. Every car commercial would be 40 minutes long just reviewing it.
Goodness me, that's
Jerrod. We do something like in project management. We always have a challenge with reporting because the project team will put a detailed report together, which the executive don't want all that information. They want something different. The project manager doesn't want all that information. They want something different. The board doesn't want all that information. They want something different. And the trick is to really focus in on what the different groups want, because what you feel is valuable, like you've just said, in a different way, what you feel is valuable isn't what the CEO feels is valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you get on their wavelength to make sure they get the information they need? And it's an age-old problem we have in any type of project management.
Yeah, yeah. And in products, because people want, like Toyota has an understanding that people want that Land Cruiser brand. They want to drive it around town. Yeah. They're never going to need what it's actually meant for. Unless you're in Australia, they have a different Land Cruiser over there. Here, they've got a little 4-banger.
Central America has a different kind of
Yep.
Land Cruiser.
Of course.
Yeah, nice V8s and
Everybody.
just, yeah.
It's just,
Everybody except Vancouver has a different type of Land Cruiser.
I mean, you have to bear in mind that, Central America and Australia, they have different needs and different lifestyles than, Vancouver, let's say, or Canada, unless you're going out in the outback or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Everybody has a different lifestyle than Vancouver.
I heard about a smoking event happening last time we did TCS.
Oh, really?
After TCS.
Oh, what?
I wasn't
Let's go.
Invited, but
That'd be fun. It is, yeah. Though,
Talk about highlights.
yeah. But it is like I do understand if Toyota's bringing this to Vancouver or to Canada,
Yeah.
they know they have to understand who the market is after because people want the luxury, so you
Right.
have to make a sacrifice,
Yeah.
right? Whereas in Latin America, they probably want the power, but they don't need as much of the luxury, so they end up paying about the same, but they're pulling in different products.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's understanding the vision of what people want to get at a certain price point.
Yeah.
I'm not really offering any solutions to it, but it is a very interesting thing to always have to deal with,
You'll
no matter
buy
what your
you
business.
Want. Just make sure you know what you're buying.
I just like the whole concept of provocative truth-telling. I think we could incorporate that on this show.
Well,
I'll tell you, Joe Rogan, that's provocative truth-telling. Well, how much truth, I don't know. Jon Stewart, like if you look at any of these shows, get a grain of the truth and make it interesting, make it entertaining.
it's
Make it
so
provocative.
so fascinating though, and not even if they're trying to be provocative, when you know something about a topic and then you hear someone that doesn't know about it talk about it.
Yeah.
It's always fascinating how wrong they are. And same with me, if I'm talking about a topic that I don't know, you don't even know what you don't know. So you'll hear like a Rogan or a Jon Stewart, and they're talking about like a Jon Stewart might say something about, the Midwest and their industry out there. And you're like, that's not true. That's not even true. And then, I've heard Rogan talk about like dog breeds or something like that, and he doesn't know about the breed. So he's like saying stuff, and it's just not true. He just doesn't know. But he's not trying to be untrue. He just doesn't know it.
That's just normal day-to-day conversation. In investing, it gets wild because people come up with jokes.
And if anyone who watches this show knows anything about investing, they will be shaking their head going, what are these guys talking about investing for?
Well, if you're unsure, just go buy the Lexus GX550. I think they're only at around 100,000 recalls, I think now.
That's perfect. Yeah,
So very wonderful. Built like a Toyota. Should be built.
Getting recalled like Dodge.
Yeah, like a Dodge. See, but now Dodges are getting good. You can't even follow it
I
anymore.
know. No, it just changes. Should we do
Beer review? Yeah.
Should we see what should we see what people think about our
I
beer?
thought this was a perfect video for,
This
hefty industry.
hefty industry content.
Fall beer. It's a fall beer.
I'll go first. This is why you review it at the end. When I first drank it, I was like, "Oh, this is nice." By the end, it tastes like medicine.
You were like squeezing like the last little bit
I
out
know
of.
that's just alcoholism, but the it's like
the finish. You got ruined by the finish.
yeah. Just by about the fourth drink, it started to taste like cough syrup to me. But at the beginning, you're like, "Oh, this is nice," and then like so many of these flavored beers, the more you drink it, the worse it tastes.
The good thing with getting over a little bit of a cold is, for me, it started out great. I got plugged up during the show.
Great.
The whole thing tasted wonderful. It was like water.
That's a great experience. So you're a 20 out of 20.
No, it wouldn't be that. Carlsberg and Guinness. I mean, can you get any better than those? Not yet. Oh, and Sneaky Weasel.
Sneaky Weasel.
I saw that on your list. That Sneaky Weasel for a cheap beer. I'm like, how is that so good?
That's great beer. I think part of it is the branding. It's just fun to
I
drink.
think so. I think it's fun.
Roy, what are you? I'm scared of your your review of this because I
know
can't
how many
imagine
I've
you love it.
eviscerated for all the beers I sent to Roy.
Yeah, it's like you, Jerrod. I started out full flavored, and I said, "Oh, that's not bad." But
Yeah.
it tires you out. It's just there's nothing subtle about it. It just a brown nutty ale all the way, and
Just nuts all over.
yeah, nuts on. Oh, here we
Nuts
go.
all over your face.
Yeah.
What is wrong with them? They're getting worse. They're getting worse.
Yeah. No. Wasn't impressed.
Damn, that's 2 for 2 on terrible beers.
BC, you got to step up a little bit.
The hell?
BC beers are.
I'm taking your words
So-
for it.
No Christmas is what we're talking about.
No Christmas this year.
I'm taking your word for it though, because like as I said, I can't really taste after like a few sips.
It should have been roasted over an open fire.
Oh, not an open bar.
Cue the music, please.
Nuts roasting
jeez.
on an open.
No,
Yeah,
don't.
we're hating on the beers lately.
And it will be good to go to Whistler Brewing for their sponsorship of the next episode.
That's not going to happen now.
Men drinking beer.
What do you? You know what though? That's the trick to this beer. It's if you're up in Whistler, you just got off the slopes and you're eating wings and drink.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, this is great.
Roy, do you find a draft of like some of these is much better than out of the can too, or is there not really a difference? I do find sometimes.
Oh no, there's a difference definitely, and yeah, it's hard to generalize. It depends on the beer.
What do
Yeah.
you score it?
I don't know between a 10 or an 11. I haven't decided.
Oh,
Ouch.
Check out his blog for that score.
I think
You.
the only sponsors we're going to get in their show are from the Alcohol Anonymous. I think.
That's a good point. We got to reach out to them too.
oh boy. Well, thank you both for doing this. I really appreciate it. Gowdy appreciates it. I can't even say it.
That's how bad the beer
Thanks,
was.
Petro-Canada Lubricants, for sponsoring my mug.
Yeah. And we all
Everybody-
appreciate your appreciation,
Yeah.
Jerry.
Everybody go watch Pretty Woman.
There's a movie.
The movie.
Better qualify that, Kelly.
Don't be the guy on the mustache watching a pretty
Yeah.
woman.
Hey, you watch Pretty Woman again and again.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I now realize I haven't seen it because I don't recognize the
Quiz
piano scene.
next time. TCS.
I have to ask. I see her walking in the bathrobe, so I'm kind of getting some guess of where it's going. But didn't I see people in the the room,
Doesn't matter.
or is that
It's a
part of the
great-
thing?
It's a great power move because Richard Gere very quietly says, "Gentlemen, could you leave us alone?"
Oh,
And everybody, because he's a billionaire, everybody clears out. Everyone does exactly what he says.
got it. Okay.
So it's completely realistic. It's a billionaire and he's marrying a prostitute.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
Cinderella story.
Cinderella.
and he's Cinderella. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We will thank you, Zarina. I see you making lots of notes there for editing stuff out. That's going to be very helpful in this episode.
A
Cut and
2-minute
burn.
episode.
Was Zarina stone faced the entire episode?
No,
this time?
no, she laughed a couple times.
I had to write down. There was this one time I wrote down 31 minutes. Jerrod's dream to be a prostitute.
I was watched.
Cue
Oh.
Fashion Week.
Man,
Got that down.
by the way, movie comedy recommendation. Just go back and watch all the Rob Schneider movies.
Oh.
My good.
Here's my note to Carl,
Deuce-
our editor.
Deuce Gigolo or whatever. his
Deuce
name is.
Gigolo,
Oh, my God, yeah.
like the one where he's going to prison, and oh
And
man,
then
they-
Europe and
they seem like at the time they weren't that crazy, but watching them nowadays, they are just wild movies.
Oh, yeah.
Just hilarious.
I think people like in the younger generations now watch these older movies. They're like, you guys can't do that.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a lot of them love them.
Illegal.
There would be all canceled.
and Norm Macdonald, Jerrod, the Dirty Works.
Dirty Works,
Very
yeah.
hard to find, but if you find it, Norm Macdonald's in it, Rodney Dangerfield, Artie Lang. It's just Don Rickles. It's a who's who.
Just great movies.
Comedians.
Just great
And
movies.
it's just so.
So for all the young people that watch
Ridiculous.
that, and thank you for watching us. Please subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode of The Crownsmen Show if they let us make one.